皆さん聞こえますでしょうか? Can I hear? Okay. Hi, welcome to the Umigyo session again. I am the organizer of this session, Tamano NAMIKAWA from the Japanese Institute of Fisheries, Infrastructure and Communities. And one organizer is Dr. Yinji. She as the facilitator of part 2. This session will be made up of 3 parts. Part 1 is the presentation part. 5 persons will give a 5 minutes presentation on the case study of Umigyo. Part 2 is a panel dialogue with fishers. 4 fishers will be on the table. Part 3 will be open for questions. Part 2 and part 3 are in Japanese, but question in English is okay. When you have questions, you can raise your hand by clicking on the raise hand button. If you are in this venue and join this session via Zoom, please set the sound off the computer audio. Just as a reminder, please mute your phone before we start. Well, at the beginning of this session, Dr. Lee and I speak about Umigyo and the development of fishing communities in Japan. Lee sensei, onegaishimasu. Please set the presentation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. NAMIKAWA. Let me share my. Not this one. Okay. My name is Yinji. I'm from Tokai University. I'll give a short introductory talk about this Umigyo. It's Japanese experience, Japanese concept of exploring the way of securing life above water and life below water. Those who are interested in small-scale fisheries research, or who are doing the small-scale fishery research, we're familiar with the role of small-scale fisheries, their potential for sustainable use of resources and the maintenance of local communities. As this point has been emphasized by the Professor Jan Toft, the author of this Life Above Water. It emphasized that life above water is essential for securing the life below water and must be nurtured structurally. And this point has also been emphasized by the Professor Ostrom as well. And when we look at the Japanese small-scale fisheries, or if any of you are familiar with Japanese small-scale fisheries, you may have heard about the Japanese fisheries management governance method with its characteristics about fisheries rights, entry limits, qualification restrictions, voluntary management groups, organizations, and informal rules, local rules, etc. And these are also consistent with Dr. Ostrom's 8 principles. And this way of the governance are say to has contributed to the maintaining of the fishing community and fisheries resources for a long time. However, despite the roles and importance of these areas, now the Japanese small-scale fisheries are facing various challenges today. It includes unstable fishery households management, lack of successors, aging populations, decreasing resources, lower fish prices. As we heard a lot, just the session before we had. So these are the issues, problems that we have in here now. And in addition to that, a recent policy change that enables private capital to enter into coastal fisheries, small-scale fisheries, has caused great concerns about the current situation. Yes, so this Umigyo concept is to cope with these current situations, to increase the economic viability of the fishing communities or fisheries cooperatives. The Umigyo is a newly created word from the fishing, which pronunciates in gyogyo in Japanese. And this is a combination of the fishing gyo in kanji character and another well, it sounds similar, but it's different kanji character. Another gyo, which means source of living. And this Umigyo is the created word with the combination of umi, the marine, and the same the kanji means source living. And this is the concept. We argue that this Umigyo strategy is an effective and essential way to secure life above water. So it's to life below the water. And well, it has a clear definition, as we can see from here. This is a general term for a series of economic activities carried out by community people centered on the fishers or fishing, and then for responding to the diverse needs of marine and coastal use today, and utilizing not only the fishery resources, but also all kinds of community marine related resources. And I think this is a clearly differ from the blue economy concept. And here we have some the comparison between the fishing gyogyo and this Umigyo. About the object, gyogyo, the fishing is about, well, aquatic animals and plants, but this Umigyo, it includes all aquatic animals and plants, marine and coastal areas, and amenity resources, etc. And the area of economic activities, fishery only includes the production to distribution, but in Umigyo, it includes production to consumption and leisure and consumption, etc. And when we look at the nature of the targeting market, fishing is about food market, but in Umigyo, we can target the food market, leisure market, education, tourism, etc. And here are some well-known examples of the Umigyo, which grouped in like 4 groups by if it's individual activities or the collective actions, or the target Is it about food or is it about recreation kind of thing? And this figure shows about well, this kind of image of this Umigyo, how this concept will contribute to the securing life above water and life below water. Well, through this Umigyo, we can increase the non-fishing income of the fishery households, which will lead to increase the income of fishery households. And then it goes to the maintain fishery households. And by that, you can maintain the fishing, and so it's to the maintaining community, which we can refer it to the life above water, and that this community will care for life below water while do the fishing. And this will lead to the community viability, economic viability, the comprehensive, the holistic viability as well. So this is the rough introduction of this Umigyo concept. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee Sensei. Next, it's my turn. Okay, it's my turn. Fishing communities development measure in Japan, then and now. In Japan, fishers are considered the leader of coastal fishing communities. And various measures have been taken to develop fishing communities. In this presentation, I will show an overview of Japanese fishing community development measures and summarize what is required today is Umigyo. As you know, in Japan, about 6,300 fishing communities in Japan. It's home to 2 million people. It is 1.6% of the population of Japan. It's located behind good natural harbors near fishing grounds. Therefore, fishing communities lack flat area, poorly accessible, have a high risk of natural disaster, and have poor conditions for working and daily life. So 70% of fishing villages are in the depopulated area. The population is declining and aging, especially in small-scale fishing areas. In Japan, there are various measures for developing fishing villages, but here I would like to show two important acts. One is Coastal Fisheries Promotion Act, was enacted in 1988 during rapid economic growth in Japan. This act aimed to increase productivity, improve the living standard of small and medium-sized fishers. Through this act, coastal fishers were able to get subsidies and loans. Another one is Fisheries Basic Act. After the 200 nautical mile regime, declining in fisheries production and self-sufficiency, the Fisheries Basic Act was enacted in 2001, replacing the Coastal Fisheries Promotion Act. However, it is still considered important to develop fishing communities as the foundation for the development of the fisheries industry. And the Act has the following article: to promote exchange between urban areas and fishing villages, to exert appropriately and fully the multifunctional role of fishing villages. These acts have supported the development of fishing villages. Under the Fisheries Basic Act, the government is to formulate the basic plan for fisheries every 5 years. In the latest one, the development of fishing communities is one of the plan's 3 pillars. Specifically, Umigyo is discussed. In the plan, it is expected to develop fishing villages by incorporating industries other than fishing. Fishing villages have long used the local sea resource for tourism as fishing lodges and recreational fishing. In 1998, the Blue Tourism Program, which was marine tourism to stay in fishing villages, fishing communities, was promoted as a way to develop the local communities. In the 2000s, the concept of urban fishing village exchanges, including blue tourism, was introduced and promoted, and became an important direction in fishing communities development. In 2016, the tourism vision for future of Japan established measures to the promoting of overnight stay and farming in fishing villages. In fishing village areas, Nagisa-haku is being promoted. In 2022, Umigyo was clearly stated in the basic plan for fisheries as one of the measures for regional development. Fishing villages in Japan are often located at disadvantaged and depopulated areas. So during rapid economic growth, the government took measures to correct disparities within the fishing industry and support small and medium-sized fisheries. Then, due to the change in the fisheries situation, the Fisheries Basic Law was enacted, which states that the development of fishing villages is essential for the development of the fishery industry. And the Act also calls for the promotion of exchange between urban areas and fishing villages, and to appropriately exert the multifunctional role of fishing village. In the new basic plan for fisheries, Umigyo is expected to bring in industries other than fishing and revitalizing fishing villages. And I categorize these fishing community developments from the point of view of the value that fishing villages provided to people for tourism. After this, each speaker will share a case study. I categorize that as follows: the keyword of 5 keywords, and one is stay, and play, and buy, and eat, and learning. As the fishery industry is expected to become a growth industry, cooperation with the private sector is also expected to develop in fishing villages. As leaders to develop the fishing communities, fishers need to reaffirm the value of their fishing communities and think about what values should be the central pillar, I think. So let's start the presentation of 5 presenters. And the first one is stay. So, ふもとさん、用意お願いします。
はい。Hello, my name is Takamitsu Fumoto. I would like to introduce local efforts under the theme of stay. There has been stay effort in Japanese fishing village for some time. For example, in the southern area of Fukui Prefecture, called Reinan area, fishermen have been managing fishermen's inn while working side by side with fishing.
すみません、文本さん、ちょっと画面がうまく動いてないみたいです。スライドショーがうまく動いてないみたいです。
そうですか。すみません。いかがでしょう？動いてないでしょうか？
OK です。大丈夫です。
Fishermen in the region are known for their standard management style of working side by side with fishing for a variety of jobs. from grandfathers and grandmothers to grandchildren, all the members of the household are engaged in various jobs across generations. This is a hallmark of the area. For a long time, many sea bathers have visited the area from the Kansai area. In the past, traffic access was not well maintained. Therefore, when visitors came to the area from afar to swim, they needed to stay. It was the beginning of the Fishermen's Inn that the fishermen responded to their needs. Now, traffic access has been improved. Visitors no longer need to stay in a fishing village. The purpose of staying in a fishing village has changed. The biggest attraction of Fishermen's Inn is that you can eat fresh seafood. The seafood was caught by the fishermen themselves. One of the important purposes of visitors is to eat fresh and delicious marine products. It is one of the factors that the Fishermen's Inn continues. Recently, minpaku is also becoming popular. Minpaku is a Japanese expression that means travelers to stay at a general private house at a price. The legal system has been established and it has begun to tackle in various parts of Japan. Minpaku is attractive to experience the daily life of this area. In other words, it is local life and fishing as a livelihood. This is a photo of an aquaculture fisherman in Mie Prefecture. He is making fans. He shows and lets visitors experience his life and aquaculture. The effort of Nagisahaku is also spreading. Nagisahaku is a Japanese word that collectively express not only staying, but also efforts to visit fishing villages and stay for a long time. In the Nagisahaku effort, local stakeholders cooperate, accept accommodation. Sort of throughout the region, such as accepting school trips and experiential learning. This is Blue Park Ano in Ano, Obama City, Fukui Prefecture. Aquaculture is thriving in this area. For a long time, many of these fishermen have also worked as fishermen's inns for guests who came to the beach. The fishermen who also work as guest houses cooperated to develop Blue Park Ano. This facility accepts school trips and experiential learning. Visitors can catch, handle, and eat delicious fresh fish by themselves and stay with the experience. People who visit fishing villages often visit for some purpose. For example, fresh seafood, fishing experience. In that sense, it can be said that stay is being worked on in connection with various efforts introduced later. On the other hand, as seen in the spread of minpaku, staying in a fishing village can be valuable in itself. I would like to pay attention to future efforts. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Fukumoto-san. And then second theme is play. The presenter is Sachiko Harada from Tokyo University of Marine Science and Technology. Harada-san, OK ですか? Please start the presentation.
Thank you, Namikawa-san. Hello, everyone. I'm Sachiko Harada from Tokyo University of Marine Science and Technology. The topic of my presentation is on marine recreation in fishing village. First, I would like to explain the current status of marine recreation in Japan. The need for marine recreation in Japan is increasing in the long term. Statistics on marine recreation are few, but data on the fishing population shows that it has been declining in recent years. This is likely due to the recession and the increased variety of marine recreation. Despite the effects of the recession, a variety of marine recreation has become more enjoyable in the coastal areas. Therefore, there are some cases of cooperation between fisheries and marine recreation. Today, I would like to introduce a case study from Onna Village, Okinawa Prefecture. Onna Village is one of the most popular tourist destination in Okinawa Prefecture, and is famous for its beautiful ocean. So many divers visit Onna Village. On the other hand, Onna Village also has a thriving seaweed farming and fishery. So they used to be troubles between the tourism side and the fishing industry over the use of sea. In order to solve troubles, Fishery Cooperative Association, local governments, and tourist companies gather to form a council to discuss the smooth use of the sea. So, as a result of continued discussions at the council, rules have been created that are beneficial to fishermen, resort hotels, and dive shops. I don't have time to explain all the rules, so I will give you an example. It is rule to use a fishing boat when guiding divers to diving site. The benefits to fishermen from this rule are that they get income from chartering their fishing vessels, and they don't pass through areas that they would interfere with the fishery. On the other hand, the advantage for dive shop is that there is no need to prepare vessel and human resources. Their rules can be very helpful in avoiding problems between fishermen and divers. Finally, I will discuss the challenges of promoting marine recreation in fishing villages. In many fishing villages in Japan, there is no mechanism to coordinate fisheries and marine recreation. So it is necessary to organize a council of stakeholders, like on a village, to discuss the smooth use of the coast and developing human resources capable of dealing with tourism. Also, since Japan has no laws regulating the use of marine recreation, so public rules need to be developed. I consider it important to have perspective that allows both fisheries and marine recreation to develop. That's all for the presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Hada-san. And then the third theme is by. The presenter is Mr. Naruhito Takenouchi from Ehime University. Takenouchi 先生、お願いします。Please start the presentation.
はい。ちょっと待ってくださいね。見えてますか？
OK です。
はい。Hello, everyone. My name is Takenouchi from Ehime University. I talk about buying at fishery direct sales market. This is Hagi Shimad in Yamaguchi Prefecture. This is demonstration auction to customer. Ready, go. They also enjoy very much. This is Karato market in Yamaguchi Prefecture. This is wholesaler sells sushi, fresh fish in the market. It's very lively. This chart, it is 820 fishery direct sale market in Japan as of 2020. Annual sale amount of the fishery direct sales market is about 30 billion yen. To put it simply, the role of these facilities are local food production and consumption. This sheet is structure of the direct sales market. A fisherman sells seafood directly at here. The other fish dealer or wholesaler sell marine products on consignment by fishermen. Consumers visit here to buy the favorite seafood. The advantage of the facility is that it can be sold in small quantity and many items. This is a good system that accepts both elderly fishermen or small-scale fishermen. The meaning is exit of fishery direct sales market. 1. Many people and products gather in one place. 2. Connecting fishermen, seafood, consumer. In addition to shopping, the direct sale market can be developed by connecting various contents. About various content, for example, restaurant, fishing, marine leisure, aquarium, interactive facility. In other words, the system of direct sales market can be regarded as a kind of platform business. Platform business. Let's pick up the condition for the success of facility. The biggest point of it have a large section of delicious seafood for each season. Moreover, these seafood are highly rare and fresh. Consumers enjoy these seafood like an adventurer and fun to discover. The internal success conditions are the following point. 1. The customer's reaction to seafood is directly transmitted to fishermen. 2. Fishermen use customer rated to create new products. These members are both friends and rivals. One for all or for one is a well-known word. It's a word that fits very well with the facility. Conclusion. Direct sales market have many possibilities. I think local stakeholders should build an ecosystem centered around the direct sales market. Finally, a message to everyone. Let's go to seafood market. Seafood market. You can feel our session. I wish you a delicious and satisfactory trip. This brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Takenouchi sensei. ありがとうございました。Before the fourth presentation, we would like to listen to one fisher because he has to quit in 10 or 20 minutes this meeting. So, Kinki-san.
ですね、先ほど海業のご紹介をさせていただきました東海大学のリーです。漁業者座談会はこの研究者の発表を終えた後に予定してましたけれども、ちょっと早めに退出しないといけない方がいましたので、ちょっと先にやらせていただきたいというふうに思います。
はい。
Okay. 斉藤さん聞こえますか？斉藤さん聞こえますか？喋ってない。
斉藤さん聞こえます？聞こ
えますよ。
はい、
聞こえますよ。
そしたら、海業の、どのような取り組みがあって、その漁協にどのような役割を果たしているかというのを聞きたいです。Okay, our plan...
マイクオフにして喋ってください。
何ですか？ 加藤さん、聞こえますよ。
Our plan is to have this fisheries conversation with the fisheries after the presentation by the researchers. But one of the fisheries.
地元の取り組みですか？
そうです。海業、要は漁村振興のための、取り組みをご紹介ください。
はい、自分たちのところでは15年くらい前からしらすの直売所と、それから丼ハウスというものを始めました。これが地域の活性化となり、たくさんの人が地元の持ち船に来るようになりました。はい、そこで止めてください。はい。
I'm going to have the rough translation about that. There was Mr. Saito from Mochimune area in Shizuoka Prefecture. I asked what kind of the economic activities they have. And Mr. Saito says that from 15 years ago, they have started the direct sales store of the whitebait. This area is famous, well known for the whitebait fisheries, and they started this direct sales store operated by the Fisheries Cooperative. And another activity is this fish. Yes, we can say fish cafe. It's also run by the Fisheries Cooperative, and he says that these two actually contributes a lot to this area economies.
はい。
続いてください。で、そうですよね。
はい。はい。最初やり始めの当初は仲買さんも組合の職員もみんな反対をしていました。人が来ることはないだろうし、そんなに売れないという形でやる気がなかったもんですから、ちょっとカチンときまして、積極的な活動をすることになりました。日曜日など、はい。で、最近の日曜日とか、海漁がない日も海に出ていただきまして、しらすを取っていただき、ただで漁協に納めて、安価な安い金額で魚を売ることにして、お客を集めるようにしました。はい、斉藤さん、ちょっとそこでストップです。
Okay. Yes, I was saying these two activities contributed to the economy, the area a lot, and actually now a lot of people are visiting this place, and Mr. Saito also says that when they started, the activity led by the Mr. Saito, when he started, when he wanted to start this activity, the fisheries cooperative members and the fish buyers, they actually he got a lot of opposition about this activity because people didn't think there will be a lot of people visiting and coming or buying their stuff, but he still insisted doing this and made a lot of efforts to run this activities. Okay. ありがとうございます。そしたら、一言じゃあ今後もこういう持ち船こういう漁村が海業を進めていくのに最も大切なのは何ですか？それを教えてください。
もっとこれからもね、地元を含めて若い人たちといろんな話をして、それを吸収してまた違った形での 漁協の活動をやっていけば、また漁業者にも増えるし、人が集まるようになると思いますので、今以上に人を集めるような活動は積極的にやっていきたいと思っています。
はい、ありがとうございます。Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Saito. ですね。Yes, you can go now. ありがとうございます。Yeah, my second question was. Yeah, my second question was about what does Mr. Saito think is the most important factor of the doing this Umigyo for the future? I mean, yeah, to continue these activities. And Mr. Saito answers that it's important to get what people get together, including the young fishers, young generations, and to think about new strategies and new ways of doing this. And it's just that again, the togetherness is very important to promote this Umigyo activity. Okay, now I want to give it back to the
okay,
Dr.
back
NAMIKAWA.
to the presentation part. Anyway, the first theme we go with the first theme is eat. The presenter is Hajime Oshima from RPI.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Hajime Oshima from RPI Corporation. We specialize in regional planning institute. My expertise is planning for small ports and fishing villages, and also product developments and sales promotion related to fish. Of course, Umigyo, right? Next. The objective of today's presentation is to introduce seafood restaurants in Japanese fishing villages. When we plan these, sometimes we encounter some difficulties due to the number of stakeholders involved: wholesaler, fishermen, retailer, restaurant industry, and so on. I will not discuss it today because it's complicated. I'll talk someday. Next. There are many restaurants all over the country, from Okinawa in the south to Hokkaido in the north. Now here are some examples in Japan. The restaurant introduced here are famous and successful examples of fishery cooperative management. Okinawa Prefecture and Hota, Banya, and so on. Next. As you can see, that here, the trend of seafood restaurants managed by fisheries cooperative and fishing corporations. In 2019, there are 420 facilities, and the sales amount is around $1,100 million. Very huge. Next. Why fishers need seafood restaurants? The main reason is that fish consumption is falling. Blue line. Okay. By comparison, meat consumption is increasing. It is conceivable that the diversification of food culture, eating various dishes such as Italian foods, we love spaghetti, pizzas, and Korean foods, we love barbecue. And that meat is relatively cheaper. Next. As you can see, consumption per household tends to decrease rapidly, very rapidly. Above all, it's hard to eat fish because it has bones, and some people say it smells bad. Next. Despite the image that Japanese people like fish, they have come to prevent fish year by year. But there are exceptions. As you can see, salmon consumption is increasing. I'm sorry to say, but at cheap sushi restaurants, they are probably eating lots of salmon. Next. Roughly speaking, fishermen catch a wide variety of fish, but Japanese consume less and only eat salmon. I think in Japan, catching various kinds of fish has supported the local economy and culture. However, recent changes have made it difficult. That's why we need to run a seafood restaurant managed by small-scale fisheries. Next. Finally, I'll show you the role of restaurants. It may not be generalized because changes in consumption seems to be unique characteristic of Japan. But I think the role of restaurants in small-scale fisheries is the same in the world. Maintaining the SSF and local economy, preserving culture, living a sustainable life, that is the role of the restaurants. In conclusion, restaurant management plays a major role in the continuation of SSF. But that brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Oshima-san. ありがとうございました。And then the last theme is learn. The presenter is Tsutomu Miyata from Japan International Research Center for Agriculture Sciences. That's okay. Please start just.
Thank you for introduced me by the chair. So I'm Tsutomu Miyata from the Japan International Research Center for Agriculture Science. So based on the Tsukuba. So I will give you my presentation regarding learning through the Umigyoから学ぶ. And so the first topic is enjoying with learning through the experience. So anyway, I will give you some key word regarding learning through the Umigyo. So seafood is not only required safety, calorie intake, and functionality, but also others. So recently, smartphone have made consumers smarter. So farmers marketing doesn't work. So that's why emotion is what moves consumers. So that was emotion is very important for the marketing now. And I will give you the case of the ecotourism in Thailand. So the keyword is ecotourism with little investment. So little investment is the keyword for this case study. So I think you didn't find the pointer, but bottom in the middle picture is also rehabilitation of the mangrove. And this picture is also recovering a mangrove made the area recovers ecosystem. You can see this is the mangroves and this is the monkey. So this area recovers the ecosystem. So by the rehabilitation of the mangrove, and you can see that this picture. So the tourists are enjoying water skiing using a fishing boat and equipment. And this is a fishing boat, and this is fishing equipment tidal for the tidal flat. So this is a kind of a fishing gear, and you can see that this shed. So this shed is for watching aquaculture facility originally. So the fishermen stay in the shed and checking the aquaculture facility. But so nowadays, so this shed use this shed. Regarding this shed, so the ecotourist is experience the wonder of the nature on the shed. Everybody relax under this shed, and so the tourists eat the seafood. So you can see that this green one is seaweed, and this is a green mussel, and this is shrimp and prawn or something, and this is a fish, and this is fish soup. So that was tourists learning the importance of the fish industry through the eating like this seafood. And then finally, I'm sorry. Anyway, this ecotourism learning by the fishers and villagers. So anyway, there's a worker, fishers and the villagers. So that is a very important point for the ecotourism system. And the previous slide showed that generate the learning and emotional experience of tourists by various fishing goods and actions. Tourists feel emotion by their first experience away from daily lives. So furthermore, they, tourists, learn through the lecture of the staff of the ecotourist system. The environment was destroyed by industrial factory and aquaculture companies at the time in the past, and had recovered by the mangrove rehabilitation. And fishers and villagers know that the value of the nature, and they try to conserve the ecosystem in their coastal area. And this is a key key point. So not only tourists, but also the fisher and the fishing villager learn like this matter through the Umigyo. It is a very important keyword, and that's my presentation. Thank you. So this is the book for the references. Thank you.
Thank you, Miyata-san. ありがとうございました。And then, thank you for all presenters. And ふもとさん、原田さん、竹之内先生、大島さん、宮田さん。Thank you for everything. So, now part 1 is over, and then turn to part 2 facilitator. 李先生、お願いします。
浪川さん。ですね。はい。では、お待たせいたしました。これから、漁業者座談会という形で、進めさせていただきたいというふうに思います。Okay, now we're going to move on to the second part, the conversation with the fisher leaders. Today we have fisher leaders from Mr. Miyahara, who actually gave us the opening greeting in first day from UE Cooperative Associations. Miyahara Kumiyacho desu. And then Suzuki Kowashi-san from Inatori branch of the Izu Fisheries Cooperative, Suzuki Kowashi-san desu. And we have one joined virtually. Takada-san no kao dasemasu ka? Okiku. Yes, Mr. Takada from Ito Fisheries Cooperative Association. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm. Do you 糸漁業、協同組合の、組合長、高田組合長になります。というので、いくつかですね、質問をする形で、やっていきたいと思いますが、まず、先ほどと同じような質問ですけれども、地域で、各地域でどのような海業に関する取り組みがあるのかというのと、地域にその取り組みがどのような存在なのかというのを、教えていただきたいですので、じゃあ、宮原組合長からお願いしましょうか。Okay, my first question is about, it's the same that I asked Mr. Saito, what kind of Umigyo activities they have.
はい、由比港漁協の宮原と申します。
Hello everyone, my name is Miyahara.
由比港漁協は世界で類を見ない桜エビ、体長4センチほどの桜エビ、これが明治27年から始まりまして、今現在128年続いている漁であります。その間にですね、
途中で切ります。Okay. In my area, we have the Sakura Shrimp. It's well known for the Sakura Shrimp fishery. The Sakura Shrimp, it's length about 4 centimeters. And this fishery started from the Meiji period. So it has a long history. It's about like 128 now.
この間にですね、大量にあったり、不良であったりというのを繰り返して、今現在つながっております。
And since we have a long history, we had the bad condition. We have had the good condition about the fishery resources. We had the kind of everything.
そのためにですね、漁業者もいろいろの考えて、プール設定120の船が漁をして、それでお金は平等に分けると、今そういう方法を52年からやっております。
Yes, and about this Sakura Shrimp management, we have this unique system called the pooling system, where all the fishers will the separate to get the income as the income. Well, every fisher get the same amount of this revenue. That's how the system works.
それと地域のブランド、桜エビをブランド化したいということで、地域ブランドの証書を中川さんとともに平成18年に取得しております。
Yeah, and we also will engage in the fish branding activities, which we started from 2016.
それと平成の21年にはマリンエコラベル全国で2万名に取得しております。
And we also successfully registered for the Marine Eco Label 平成21年ですね。平成21年は2019 Okay. 2009, sorry.
いいですか それと、やはり、漁業者は不良、不良でも我慢する。ただ、漁業者と漁協、一体になっております。漁協がもう大変今厳しい時代に入っております。そのためにですね、有効としては、組合直営の直売所を平成11年に設けております。
Yeah, and as I have said before, we at times have this really bad fishing conditions, and so the operation of the fishery, the cooperative is not good. So in 平成11年we started this the fish cooperative running direct sale stores, and now we're confirming the year 平成11年 2003. Yes.
その桜直売所ですね、開店した時は0円から最近では2億円ほどの売り上げを誇っております。
Okay. When we started it, we kind of couldn't sell any, but now the sales is about two not billion. It's about 0.2 billion Japanese yen.
それ以外にですね、平成18年に食堂、県下で一番早く浜のかき揚げ屋という桜エビをかき揚げしてお客さんに提供すると、そういうことをやっております。
And then from 2006, we also started this fish cafe where we serve this Sakura Shrimp, the related dishes.
建物はですね、夏でも冷房がありません。冬でも暖房がありません。ただ、海が見えるところで、食事をしてもらうという、本当と簡単な昔の網小屋風で作ってあります。
Okay, and actually we don't, for this restaurants, we don't have like a fancy building or something like that. We just have the simple house for operating this fish cafe.
キャッチフレーズとして、桜エビ漁船を見ながら、それと塩の香りをおかずにして食べてもらうと、そういうキャッチフレーズ。もう一つは、通り過ぎる町から寄ってもらう町。これが一番の予定でやりました。
これなんかですね、全部話していただいて、簡易通訳をするようにしたいと思います。これ結構時間かかるですので、話していただいて。
いいの？
はい。
はい。その結果ですね、やっぱ戦前が届いた、それと、建物も本当に不良のプレハブ小屋をで利用したなんだっていうことで、順調に行きまして、初めはどれくらいの売り上げがあるかなと思っていたら、一番売れた年は、10時から3時までの営業で、それが、年間でだいたい200日前後です。200日まで行くと少ないんですけど、一番多い年が9000万円ほどの、売り上げがある。そうしますと、直売所とかき揚げ屋で2億9000万、8000万っていうと、魚を市場にあげてもらって、 で、厚生年を換算すると大体5億円分ぐらいは、他の方で稼いでくれたっていうのが今までの実情であります。ただ、このコロナウイルスの影響、直売所も休業したり、で、食堂も休業したり、まん延防止法が終わってから、食堂も開いておりますけど、ただ、一番厳しいのは、
漁業者。ごめんなさい。ちょっとまとめていただいて大丈夫ですか。ごめんなさい。ちょっと時間が足りなくなってきました。はい。
いい？
お話、はい。
一番厳しいのは、漁業者。漁業者は、もう厳しければ漁業も厳しい、先ほど言いました。今、日本の沿岸漁業じゃなくて漁協は大変厳しい時代を持っています。漁協がそれこそ潰れちゃうと、漁師もご飯は食っていけません。ただ、今、漁協を助けるっていう方法は一切ないので、だから全国でも一番大変なのは、やはりその組織をどのように守っていくかっていうのが、これからの課題であろうかと思います。ただ、漁業者を守りながら、漁協を守るっていう、ものすごい難しいことをこれからやっていかないとならないんじゃないのかなっていう。だから、これからの漁業、我々のところも今大体不良で、ただ業者と学者、それで行政と力を合わせて今やってますけど、これが早くなって正常になってもらうことを祈っております。
ありがとうございます。Okay, let me have a just rough translation. So this fish cafe and the direct sales stores will contribute a lot to the area, the regional, the economic viability, and now it has like a lot of the revenue, the sales. And from now on, we need to promote or to continue these Umigyo activities. We need to really think about how to secure this, the organizations, as well as to think about how to support these fishers as well. Okay, let's go to next fisher leader. ですね、一言簡単にお願いできればと思います。鈴木浩さんお願いします。
伊豆漁協稲取の鈴木です。地域の特産業として、稲取金目についてちょっと話をさせていただきます。金目というのは、日戻り、島の金目、それから沖合の1週間程度かけて上がってくる金目、外国の金目と、いろいろな、金目があります。その中で、やっぱり稲取金目として、残るためには何をしなきゃいけないのかという形の中で、そのブランド化というものに挑戦をしました。2010年の9月に出願をして、結局登録されるまで2年半ぐらいかかったんですけども、そういう形の中で、ブランド化ができました。稲取金目というのは、自分で言うのもおかしいですけども、市場でもその当時築地あたりでも、銚子の金目、稲取金目、それが両方がトップ。そこの値段で、あと他からのよそから来る金目の値段が決まると言われるほどの金目でした。築地の仲買会社と話をしたところ、元からブランドなんだから、今更ブランドする必要はないよというような言い方をされましたけども、やっぱりその地元に買いに来るお客さん、そういうものに対して、やっぱり金目も完璧に差別化をして、付加価値をしなければいけないなというものの中での、行動でした。その登録されてからタグを作り、結局はそのタグをついていることに安心して、観光客なり、地元の客なりが購買意欲が高まっていたのかと思います。で、2019年4月に、国県で町の補助を受けまして、 稲取漁港直売所コラッシェという、店をオープンしました。全国的に珍しく農協と漁協がコラボして、展開をするという、漁協の施設としてのものなんですけども、そういう形の中での展開でした。オープンして間もなくのコロナが始まるという、そういう非常に厳しい状態もありましたけれども、地道に地元の私自身の気持ちは、地元の魚入れようというような形の中での、販売が非常に良かったかと思います。3年間で、4億4000万の売り上げで、レジ通過で約29万人のレジ通過者となっております。その中の主力商品が稲取金目なんですけども、稲取金目というのは、うちの漁業自体が共同出荷という方法をとっています。普通の大きな市場だと水揚げをするとそこに競り人さんがいて、そこで競り落とされた金目の魚は全てほとんどその市場の手数料以外のものがかからない状態で漁業者に渡るんですけども、共同出荷は漁協で魚を一旦預かって、それを箱詰めして市場に出荷するという方法です。大体金目に関しては1キロにあたり150円ぐらいの経費がかかります。ただその金目を数多く直売所で売ることによって、その分の経費がかからないということの中で、漁業者に値段の上乗せができるではないかということで、それが一番の目的でした。今、去年あたりでだいたい年間で 3.8 トンの金目の販売をしています。あとはその地元に上がってすぐに真空にして凍結をするという方法の中で、それは加工品としてその干物にしたり煮付けにしたり味噌漬けにしたりという形の展開をしています。今後の目標としましては、できるだけ多くの金目鯛をまだまだ他のいろいろな方法を考えながら直売所で販売することが漁業者の取得向上になって漁協の業績のプラスになるのではないかと思っています。この海業、漁協が生き残るための大きな一つの必然だと思っています。以上です。
ありがとうございます。Okay, it's another story about the direct sales store and the fish branding activities, which in Inatori area they started the fish branding, they registered the fishing branding in 2016, and they started operating this direct sales store in from 2019. And these activities now has increased this increase the fisheries income very much, as well as the fisheries cooperatives, the operation. Okay, yes. Let me just have this. The rough translation. Okay, let's go next to the Ito area. 高田さん、お願いします。
伊藤の高田です。うちの漁協は、魚市場を経営しております。伊藤の魚市場は、定置網が、主に水揚げがあるので、1年間、旬の魚があります。で、うちの漁協では、市、商工会議所と一緒に、伊豆伊東地魚王国というのをやっておりまして、地魚を使ってくれる店には、今言った伊豆伊東地魚王国の、上りを上げ店に上りを上げるようにしております。やはり首都圏に近いので、やはり伊豆に来ていただいて、魚を食べてもらう。それが一番値が上がる方法なのだと思っております。 ですから、そういうところに力を入れたい、行きたい、これからも行くつもりです。それでもう一つ、うちの漁協の特色として、ダイビング事業をやっております。漁業者が、ダイバーを運び、ポイントに行って、送迎って船で送り迎えをします。やはり、これからっていうか今までもそうですが、やはりその浜に、やはりそう、人が溢れる、そういうふうになっていかないと、漁村が、なんていうんですかね、活性化しない。どんどん漁業者だけですと、どんどん漁村が錆びれていくので、やはりそういうところからも新しいっていうか、いろんな人が入ってきて、やはり漁業者も開かれた漁村っていうのを目指していかないと、漁村がどんどん錆びれていくのではないかと思っております。だからこそ、うちの方はダイビング事業は、一つの、経営の骨幹であるので、誘客にはこれからもっと誘客して、やはり伊東だけじゃなく伊豆全体に人が入ってこないと、その中の一部だと思っておりますので、やはり先ほど稲取の鈴木さんが言ったように、地元に来て金目を食べていただく、それと同じように伊豆に来て、魚を食べていただいて、また遊漁なり遊漁船に乗っていただいたり、そのレジャー、要はうちの方ではダイビング、いろいろな海洋レジャーにもやはり踏み込んでいかないと、漁業だけではちょっと厳しくなっていくっていうのが出てるんじゃないかなと思うので、その辺も含めて考えていきたいと思います。以上です。
はい、ありがとうございます。Okay, in Ito area, well, they have the fishery cooperative have this fish market where there are a lot of different kind of with the various fish they land in the market through the entire year, and it's another fish branding activity. The local fish, they and kind of aiding valuation activities. They serve about they provide their local fish to the restaurants in the local restaurants. This is one thing, and another thing is the fisheries corporate also operating this provide us the diving service to accept to promote tourism, the fishing community tourism, and Mr. Takada says that we want to be. We don't want to be, the closed fishing community. We want to be an open fishing community, and so this point also emphasized by the Mr. Suzuki as well. They say the Umigyo, we do need Umigyo from now on for the development of the fishing community. Okay, now we're out of time.
スパート3に入ります。一応質疑の場なんですけれども、もうちょっとあんまり時間がないものですから、一問だけもしありましたらぜひ。いかがでしょうか。
Anyone from the Zoom have any questions?
今海漁というのが小規模漁業に対して小規模漁業をサポートする非常にいい手段だというような話をいただいていますけれども、よろしいでしょうか。じゃあ、特に内容でしたら最後、ギキさん一言。わかりました。 それではもう時間にもなりましたので、海業セッションを終わらせていただきたいと思いますが、海業というものが今までどんなことやってきて、どんな機能があるのかというのを最初のプレゼンテーションでお話しいただきました。そして伊東の漁業者の方々からは、組合とか地域とか、が生き残っていくために海業というのが非常に期待できるものだというようなお話をいただきました。海業自体はこれから今水産庁の方でも、水産基本計画にもしっかり載っているものですので、これから推進されていくと思いますけれども、ぜひ実践の事例をまたさらに集めて発表いただければというふうに皆さんにあとシェアできればと思っております。どうもありがとうございました。
Thank you for joining us. 皆さん残ってください。戻って。ちょっと写真を撮りましょう。今退出したのどなた？元さん。じゃあ、皆さん顔を出していただいて、あと参加者の方たちもパネリストにしてもらえる？よかったら参加者の皆さんも今パネリストに昇格しますので、させますので、ぜひお顔を出していただいて、グループフォトを撮りたいというふうに思います。で、対面参加の方たちは、この辺に集まることにしましょうか。平塚先生、ありがとうございます。
どういたしまして。